Little Pony is popular with Yahtzees.
Okay.
This is crazy. We've reached peak idiocy here. Well, I say that every day. We never actually reach peak idiocy. The idiocy is over 9,000.
They're like, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
It's not only pathetic, but it's fucking lazy. He uses his toys in his videos because he's too lazy to make a video with all of his OC poses. You know, that's just too much work for a poor lad. He's been working hard enough on those hour-long review videos.
You ERP'd with a 15-year-old knowing they were 15, correct?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, you are 22 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
That happened a year ago?
Has the same failure.
I think so,
You
yeah.
made dumb decisions sending dick pics to people without checking their names and number or ages.
One of them is like, I don't know,
that's what Rocket. You've
something like
done
that.
dumb enough things like doing a whole April Fool's joke about how, I'm a pedophile. I would make that joke if people weren't so sensitive.
I support people who will in the future make more victims like you. Fandom or not, these people are the scum of the earth. Because along with that line, it actually caused the students to have a panic attack.
There's not a single person in this call, as we are right now, finds any value in what you do, who you are, or your input in anything. Because you cannot show a single instance of actual moral fortitude.
I live my life one day at a time. A good portion of those days are uneventful, always falling into the same routine. I wake up, walk to work, walk home, and then bum around until I go to bed. Sometimes I'll hang with a few of my friends, while other times I'll just play video games or watch My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Every so often, something new and interesting happens. I meet an old friend, I find $1 on the ground, or I get chased by a stray dog. I've fallen into the same dull routine. Wake, work, sleep, repeat. I do have some moments of bliss, but the daily struggles I go through outweigh the small moments of joy I have. My Little Pony has helped, but it's still just another thing to give my hopes up on. Every time I see the show or one of the ponies on a fan site, I recoil a bit at the bright colors, the joyful faces of the ponies, and the peaceful scenery in their world. It's so hard to look at that beautiful world, having it so close to my grasp. I go for a walk. When I feel sad, I walk. When I feel tired, I walk. When I feel like walking, I walk. Walking has become my second life in a sense. I spend at least half of my day outside along the crumbling sidewalks and decaying suburbs. Today, as usual, I walked to work. It was the same shit, just a different day. Watching the same people enter the store, grab their merchandise and pay, then walk out with bags in tow. My shift ended after several hours of this. I clocked out and started walking home. I decided to use a different route this time for a change in pace, a little something different from the normal path I walk. I was stopped by something unusual. A stray cardboard box in the middle of the sidewalk. Now, living in this kind of area, I see trash all the time. Boxes, McDonald's cups, and plastic bags litter the streets and empty fields, but rarely will I see a cardboard box that isn't crushed in one way or another. I noticed this particular box because it happened to be in my way. As I drew closer, however, I began to notice something inside. It was brightly colored, multiple colors in fact. It was quite small, maybe the size of a few-month-old Labrador puppy. I stopped beside the box and looked down at the colorful blob inside. This is where I currently stand. looking into the box at a small... something. No, I know exactly what it is, but my brain isn't allowing me to fully realize it just yet. At first I want to say it's simply a toy, left to die along with all the other things in this block. But then I saw it breathing. In fact, it appears to be sleeping. My hands are sweating, my breathing's erratic, and I'm blinking my eyes trying to refresh my vision. Each time the image stays the same. Inside is a sleeping Philly rainbow dash. Says in pen, give to a good home. The first thought that runs through my mind, besides the initial Philly rainbow dashes in a box, is who would give up a Philly rainbow dash? My mind is now a mess of questions. How did she get here? Why is she here? Why is she a Philly? I mean, her flank is even barren of her cutie mark, meaning she is indeed a Philly. As I stand up to stretch my tired legs, I accidentally bump the side of the box with my foot, and the inevitable occurs. She wakes up. She looks around, rubbing her face with a foreleg, trying to wake herself up. At first, all she sees are the brown walls of the box, but then she looks up to me. Those large, black eyes, along with those rose-colored rims around them, drive my heart to, as the meme goes, explode. Twice. The sheer cuteness of it all drives me to kneel back down, and I can't hold back a smile. I haven't smiled like this in years. Since the last time me and my parents went out to the only remaining park in the area. Her eyes continue to stare at me, and I stare back. She looks around, then back to me. The more I study her, the more I realize she's really young. Years younger than her Philly appearance in episode 23. She might not even be able to talk yet. That is, if she can even talk in my world. The fact that she's even existing right now has me reeling in confusion. I return my attention back to her and notice a small shiver of her body. The fall season is here and it can get pretty cold, especially around mid-September. I'm not sure how to exactly tackle this situation. Do I take her home? Do I call somebody? Who would I even call? I can't take her to a shelter. That's a stupid thought in the first place. Not only would it be a horrible sight, she might be taken off to some lab and experimented on, or something just as equally horrible. I have only one choice. I take off my own jacket and reach down and pick her up. I get the initial response I expected. Fear. She begins to squirm around, unsure of what I'm doing to her. She can't fly yet, but she still flutters her wings as in praying for a miracle to happen that she does magically take flight. I set her into my jacket, wrap her up so that her head is sticking out, and hold her in my arm. She continues to squirm, but then my body heat begins to finally seep through the thin jacket and she settles down. I smile at her. She looks up at me with much confusion in her eyes as she tries to process what is happening. She squirms a little, trying to get into a more comfortable position. I can feel her hooves and wings poking at me as she shifts. Then, to top it off, she rests her chin on my arm and lets out a deep sigh, closing her eyes to drift off to sleep. The entire walk back, I keep an eye out for other people who could pass me by. I don't want anybody else to see her. I have no way of knowing how they would react. As usual, though, I don't see a single person. It's midnight by the time I got home. Fortunately for both of us, I turned on my porch light, otherwise I might have passed it. I glanced down at the filly, who continued to sleep in the jacket as I carried her. She was no longer shivering and felt quite warm. I walk up to my porch, careful not to make too much noise as I get out my keys, unlock the 2 deadbolts, the master lock, and finally the doorknob and open my door. It's dark inside due to me leaving while it was still light out. With a flick of a switch, the single bulb in the hallway comes to life, shedding some light into the living room. As I enter the living room, I can feel stirring in my arm. She had woken up, most likely when I turned on the light, and is now getting antsy. With no idea of what to do or how to tackle the situation, I set her down on the couch. Immediately, she jumps out of the jacket and looks around, already investigating her surroundings. I continue to watch her as she explores the couch, then continues to the coffee table. The realization strikes me that she has no clue what is going on, where she is, who I am, or anything else. She's beyond the word lost. She's misplaced. Well, until something happens, I guess you can stay with me. I see how she lifts her head up, ears starting to erect once again, and looks at me with worry. My words don't sound that encouraging, so I throw on a smile as I speak. Don't worry. I'm sure whatever brought you here will fix itself within time. We just gotta wait. Is that all right? I'm not sure why I asked that, but it seems to do the trick. Her ears perk right up again and she smiles. I must have fallen asleep at some point. I honestly expected myself to be wide awake due to such an interesting event, but after the long hours at work and staying up to take care of Dash, my body had other plans. I'm not sure how long I was out before I awoke, but it doesn't matter. As I close my eyes, I feel something against my side. I look down, and sleeping beside me is the small Cheyenne filly. Her rainbow mane and tail still, her head resting on the inside of my elbow. I know the meme gets old, but I must say it. My heart exploded again. Laying there, sleeping and curled up beside me, had me smiling ear to ear. Her gentle breaths are barely heard. The warmth of her body against my stomach warms my already weak heart. Though a few months isn't a long time, it's how long I've wanted a moment like this. My own little pony, a Rainbow Dash plushie to sleep with and hold tight. And now, I have a real Rainbow Dash, a filly sleeping at my side, content as though she's known me since birth. Right now, there's nothing else that matters to me. My despair, my sore feet, and painful heart all go unnoticed as nothing else can come remotely close to the feeling I have right now. This joy I'm experiencing at this moment as I lay awake on my couch. She's here. She's real. Right now, she's my little pony. She's my little Dashie.